Hey guys, this is a Kaminari ex-listener. I hope you enjoy and enjoy the video. Right now, you are at your work. Your boss has left you a lot of paperwork to complete, and all your coworkers had already left. The sad thing is that you had a date with your boyfriend, Kaminari Denki. He had planned this date for weeks. Since he is a pro hero, he doesn't have as much free time as you. But unfortunately tonight, you were left with a lot of paperwork. You gave him a call and said, "Sorry, Denki, I'm stuck at work. I'm so sorry, I know this is your only day off. I feel so bad." He chuckled and said, "Babe, don't worry. I know your work is important. But don't forget, I love you, darling, and I'll see you soon." You hung up and started to do your work. Little did you know that Denki had other plans. He was right now packing some stuff to head to your work. You were the only one in the building, and you were in your desk when you heard the elevator open. You were scared. You thought it was maybe a villain, a robbery, someone wanting to steal information of your company. You didn't know, since no one came this late. When you saw some familiar blonde hair, it was your boyfriend, Denki, holding flowers and a picnic basket. He came closer to you and gave you a kiss on the cheek and said, "Hey babe, how are you?" He gave you a goofy smile and you glared at him and said, "Denki, what are you doing here?" He gave you a smirk and said, "Well, I'm here to spend my free day with my loving girlfriend." You pushed him away and said, "Denki, I have paperwork. You'll only be sitting here watching me work." "Well, I don't mind. You're still here, I'm here, so I can't take this as a date." He giggled. You just rolled your eyes and continued working, while Denki set up the food he had brought from home and put the flowers in your desk. He sat down next to you, watching you work. After a few minutes, he spoke and said, "Babe, please leave the work and come hang out with me, please." He was begging at this point, and you stood up and said, "Fine, but only for an hour, then I'm back to work." He gave you a smile, and you guys picked the food and headed to the conference room to have dinner there. When you guys were settled down, Denki looked nervous, and you didn't know why. This wasn't like he hadn't come to work before, so you asked, "Denki, why are you so nervous?" He shook his head and said, "Babe, I'm fine, don't worry." You knew something was up, but you decided to let him take his time to tell you. Denki was about to die of embarrassment and decided to start talking about something to break the silence. He said, "Babe, if we ever had a kid in the future, how would you name it?" You blushed at the idea of you and Denki having a kid. You said, "Well, I don't know. I never thought about that, but I would love to have a kid with you someday." He blushed and said, "Well, I'm glad you feel that way." He pulled a small box out of his pocket and looked you directly in the eyes and said, "Yuan, you are my sunshine. You are the person I most love in this whole world." He opened the little box and there was a beautiful ring and said, "I was planning to propose to you at the restaurant we were going tonight for our date, but since you were stuck with paperwork and it took me a lot of time to get all the courage to ask you to marry me tonight, I decided not to put it to waste. Yuan, will you marry me? Even though I'm an idiot sometimes." You giggled and pulled him in for a kiss and said, "Does that give you an answer?" He chuckled and said, "Nope, I want to hear it." You sighed and said, "Denki Kaminari, Of course I want to marry you. I love you. He smiled and said, Thank you, Yuan.